All right, let's picture this. You've poured months, maybe even millions of dollars into training a brilliant, cutting-edge AI model. And it's amazing. But getting that model out of the lab and into the real world and then actually keeping it running effectively, well, that's a whole different beast. And it's a challenge that, honestly, most people underestimate. So today, we're going to dive into the critical art of AI operations.
But before we get into the thick of it, just a quick but important heads up. This is Module 14 in a 15-part series about picking a cloud provider for your AI projects. What we're talking about here is an overview based on a really comprehensive report from Virtualization Options LLC. And it's meant as general guidance. It doesn't come with a warranty, and it's definitely not legal or financial advice. So, as always, please chat with your own financial, technical, and legal pros before you take any action. And remember, these modules just scratch the surface of what's in the full report.
Okay, so that's the million-dollar question, right? Your AI model is built. Now what? Because here's the problem. Building the model is just the starting line, the way we've done traditional IT operations for decades. Well, it's just not cut out for this. It's not equipped to handle the super weird and often totally silent ways that AI systems can fail. It is a completely new ballgame.
So, how in the world do we tackle this? Well, we're going to break it down into 5 key pieces. First, we'll talk about this new operational challenge itself. Then, we'll get into monitoring the core AI infrastructure. After that, we'll look at observing the model training jobs themselves, then watching the models out in the wild, in production, and finally, we'll hit the big one, making it all cost-effective. Here is the single most important idea to grasp. AI workloads can fail in ways that are totally invisible to your normal monitoring tools. I mean, your servers can be humming along, all green lights on the dashboard, while the model training on them is producing complete and utter garbage. And that silent failure, it can burn through days of time and just a staggering amount of money. We have to stop thinking about just server health and start obsessing over AI health.
So, let's start at the very foundation, the hardware itself. Before we can even dream about model performance, we have to be absolutely sure that the underlying infrastructure, especially those incredibly expensive GPUs, are working perfectly. This is the bedrock. If this isn't solid, nothing else matters.
And how do you do that? Well, you need specialized tools. The source material points to a really important one, NVIDIA's DCGM, which stands for Data Center GPU Manager. Think of it as a deep diagnostic tool, not for your car's engine, but for your GPUs. It gives you this incredible visibility into everything from temperature to memory errors, stuff your standard server monitoring tools wouldn't even know to look for. And this is what we need to be watching. Things like GPU utilization, memory, temperature, power. But here's the tricky part, the big gotcha. Let's say your GPU utilization is low. Your first instinct might be, oh, it needs more work. But in the AI world, that often means something totally different. It usually means you have a bottleneck somewhere else, like your data pipeline is too slow to feed the beast. That's a data problem, not a compute problem. See the difference?
Okay, so we've got the hardware sorted. Now we can move up the stack. We're moving from the health of the silicon to the health of the model itself. The big question now is the training process actually working? Is our model learning anything useful? This is where we shift from monitoring machines to monitoring intelligence.
I love this slide because it just nails the paradigm shift. In the old IT world, you'd get an alert that your server's CPU is maxed out. In the new world of AI ops, the alert you actually care about is that the training loss is not decreasing. That's code for the model has stopped learning, or that your validation accuracy is flatlined. These are the signals that tell you whether that multi-million-dollar training run is making progress or just burning cash. And this quote from the source material just drives that point home. AI workloads exhibit complex failure modes where training jobs can silently diverge without obvious errors. It's not about big, loud server crashes anymore. It's about these quiet, sneaky divergences that can completely invalidate weeks of work if you're not paying attention to the right things. All right, let's fast forward. Training's done, now it's game time. We're shifting to production, where the model is live, talking to real users, and making decisions that impact the business. The stakes get even higher here, and what we need to monitor changes all over again. Now, in production, it's so tempting to just look at average response time, but that can hide a multitude of sins. That's why P99 latency is so absolutely critical. What it tells you is the experience of your unluckiest 1% of users. And if that number is high, it means some people are having a truly awful time, even if your average looks perfectly fine. You're monitoring the edges, not just the middle.
And here's another one of those silent killers for production models, data drift. Basically, the world changes. The data your model sees today starts to look different from the data you trained it on yesterday. And when that happens, your model's performance can slowly, silently, get worse and worse over time until it's just not useful anymore. You have to be actively looking for this.
And now for the topic that keeps every CFO awake at night: cost. Let's be real. These AI systems, and especially the GPUs that power them, are wildly expensive. And if you're running them without a rock-solid plan for cost optimization, you're heading for a budget disaster. So, how do you get a handle on it?
Well, the source material gives us a clear, actionable playbook. Step 1, tag everything. You gotta know where the money's going. Step 2, right-size your instances. Don't pay for an 8 GPU machine if you only ever use 4. 3, automate cleanup. Kill those idle resources. 4, and this one's a biggie, use spot instances whenever you can. They're way cheaper. And 5, review, 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 relentlessly. This has to be a continuous habit, not a once-a-year thing.
And if you need any convincing on that spot instance point, just look at this chart. The cost difference between a standard on-demand instance and a spot instance is, well, it's staggering. We are talking about potential savings in the ballpark of 60, 70, even 80%. For a long training job, that can literally translate into hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's a massive lever to pull.
So, let's bring it all home with this final quote. This is the main takeaway. It's not a choice between monitoring your servers or monitoring your AI. It's a both-and world now. Effective AI operations teams must monitor both. You need to track GPU health and training loss curves. You need to watch network packets and model accuracy. It's having this dual visibility that separates the pros from the amateurs in AI ops. And that leaves us with one last really crucial question, a question you should take back to your own teams. It's a challenge every single organization using AI at scale has to face. Is your operations team ready to make this shift? Are they really ready to move beyond just monitoring server health and start obsessing over model health? Because in the world of production AI, that's where the game is won or lost.